Hello, this is Eric Ray, and welcome back to take another look at how to transform Adobe Photoshop into a tool for latent print comparisons. So if you saw the last video on how to use GYRO in Photoshop, this is going to be a slight adaptation of that. So typically when latent print examiners are marking off their points, their minutiae, they're putting down a color, kind of like these dots here, whenever they see a point. However, what they may be looking to do is instead put down a lollipop, as it's often called, or a circle with a line attached to it. Now, one way you can do that is by going to the Custom Shape tool and picking out a lollipop looking shape like this, and you can put that down. However, you can see it only draws it facing this one direction. If you want to change the direction of it, you have to use the Transform tool and start rotating it around and then moving it again. And it's quite cumbersome, and it really slows down your markup. So instead of that, one way around that is to use the Line tool. Now, if you get into the Line tool and come up here to these options, put an arrowhead at the start and change this concavity to -50, width and length about 600%. You can put down what kind of looks like a lollipop, where you have here marking the point and then a line here showing direction, but it's not quite a circle. It's a little problem with that. But and also if you put it right at the end of the ridge ending, like I did there, you can see right where the tip is there, right at the end of the ridge. The actual center of your point is slightly back from there. So this isn't maybe the best option if you want to mark off a point and the direction that minutia faces. One of the most common uses now, becoming now for this kind of tool, is for using FR-Stat. With that software, it needs not only the location of each point, but also the direction that it faces. So let me show you here what I've been working on that lets you put down minutia with tails to show the direction, or lollipops, as I've heard them called. So the first thing you'll do is download from the links below, or also from my website at rayforensics.com, the 3 files that you'll need for this. Then you'll come in here back into Photoshop, go to File, Scripts, and Browse. Find where you downloaded those files, and then pick the one that says lollipop.jsxbin. So you pick that and load it, and now you'll come into File, Scripts, and it'll be right here, Lollipop. Once you pick it, you decide on the diameter that you want your dots to be. 12 is what I've been using. Then enable it. And now you'll be all set to go. When the Line tool is selected, and it's also helpful here later on to also make sure that this current tool only box is unchecked. When you have Line tool selected now, just click and hold at the minutia point, like the end of the ridge here. Oops, we got to turn off the arrowheads. I forgot to tell you that. So turn off the arrowheads. And now, when you draw your line, you'll get a little dot here at the end. So draw your minutia with the direction, and you get a dot at the end. Fantastic. All right, so you may want to be asking yourself now, how do I combine this with the GYRO system that we saw from the previous video? Well, in order to do that, I'd first recommend that you come over here to the Actions palette, which if you don't have it visible, just click Window and Actions to bring it up. And get rid of the old GYRO actions, which is click and hold and drag it down to the trash can to make room for the new ones. We're using lollipops instead. So for that, there's 2 steps. First is up here where the Line tool is selected. Up here at the top, click on the little down arrow, and then the gear, and Load Tool Presets. Again, go back to where you stored those files that you downloaded, and pick Lollipop Tool Presets. Load those, and then Come over here to the Actions palette. Again, it's under Windows Actions if you can't see it. Click on the 3 lines, Load Actions. Again, come back to where you downloaded those files and pick the Lollipops Actions file. Load those, and you should be all set to go. So let's take it for a test spin. F4 sets everything up. F5 is for green. So you just draw and place the green. F5, I did another green, oops. F6 for yellow. F7 for red. And F8 for orange. Now, you should be all set to go to using lollipops that can mark not only the location of your minutia, but also the direction that it faces, while also still using the GYRO system to mark your confidence in each of those points. Now, one thing, if you do want to use both dots and lollipops at the same time, just keep this existing GYRO set of actions, but then here under the lollipops folder, just double click and change each of these function keys to something else. So if 5, 6, 7, 8 is for the minutia points, then maybe 9, 10, 11, 12 would be for the lollipop GYRO. So keep checking back regularly for more updates. I hope to get up soon here more actions now using also with exemplars. Also, I hope for people that are testing out the FRStat system that this will be very helpful in marking out the minutia for use in that system, because it does need a circle and a line, or a dot and a direction for that system to work. And then also, in the near future, I'm hoping to be able to export all these locations and directions into a NIST standard file, which then can be used in any kind of AFIS system from just the location direction of these things that you've marked up in Photoshop. So with that, like I said, check back regularly at rayforensics.com, listen to the Double Loop podcast, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.